Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be talking about a major shadow nerf that has hit dungeon players pretty hard. On top of that, we're going to be going over the events of the last few days and what the admins can do in the future to remediate this situation. Without any further ado though, let's launch right into this. Starting off, I really want to make this clear, I am not a professional Dungeons player by any stretch of the imagination, and I really only understand the bare bones of what I'm talking about here, so you're going to have to bear with me. The TLDR though is what they have done is that they've made it so pearls have been hard-coded to delete themselves if you throw them at slabs, and they always teleport you to the center of a block, so always at 0.5. That is not normal Minecraft vanilla functionality, nor is it the functionality in 1.20. Initially, when I heard about this, I assumed that they made this change in preparation to move the server to 1.20 in one way, shape, or form. However, based on that information, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Hey guys, Jade here. Don't forget to use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. It means the world to us and it helps more than y'all know. Bye!
To kind of showcase what I'm talking about here, I have just a few ender pearls, and you can see when I toss one right there, it goes right through the slab, and I lose the pearl, and I don't get teleported. There's also just the general mechanic where if I toss a pearl, I'll be teleported directly to the middle of the block, kind of similar to how the aspect of the void works if you do like the little teleport thing, pretty much. And normally that's not how pearls work in vanilla Minecraft, nor is it how it works in 1.20, so this isn't really a fix or a move to 1.20, and it seems like it's much more of a fix for a certain bug or a certain cheat, which is most likely. What I think is happening here is that the admins are attempting to patch out a certain cheat, and they don't want players to be aware of what cheat that is, so they are not releasing what the patch note specifically is. However, by not releasing the patch note, you are making a lot of players very, very upset. And players do want to understand what's happening to their game. And a lot of legit players use things like this to clip through blocks every once in a while. And I think that functionality is generally fine. I just think that players need to be made aware when things like this are happening and what specifically the admins have planned. Because if their goal is to counter cheating, then, more power to them. I think it's totally fine. But if their goal is just for a general dungeon nerf, they should make that clear to the player base, and even if that nerf isn't intentional but it happens because of what the admins are doing, they should still make that clear. After the change yesterday, a lot of people went into the public lobbies and the hubs and they started spamming things like the Bonzo staff and the Jerry Sheen gun, and I personally think that that sort of thing is a little bit silly. I mean, a little riot in the hub isn't really going to get, your changes that you want pushed through. If anything, they're just going to piss the admins off. And they have banned people, I believe, for 30 days before for doing that sort of thing. So I don't personally recommend it. If you want to get your voice, out there, make sure to speak on the Reddit, on the forums, make a video, something like that will have a lot more positive impact than just spamming an item in the hub, I'm going to be real. Aside from that, though, a lot of those players were, very obviously and very rightfully upset. And I think it's, the community needs to hear something from the admins when stuff like this happens. I understand the admins are trying to fight cheating, and that's a very difficult job. Cheating is very prevalent in this game. It's not easy to resolve. And frankly, more people than you would expect to do it. I mean, I would venture to guess that a large part of, the M7 community or the F7 community in general also just, they cheat. A lot of people do. And it sucks, especially considering that Minecraft is just one of those games where cheats can become so prevalent. But it also just sucks that it's become so entrenched within Skyblock. It's almost become like part of the culture. I don't know how the admins are going to attempt to resolve that. I think the best ideas that I've came up with personally are just changing some of the ways that dungeons work as a whole in terms of the macro scale setups, like things like secrets, things like terminals. Going back, looking at those features and seeing what can we do to try to alleviate the issues of the player base, allow players to complete these things efficiently and quickly, while also maintaining, the fact that they're fun. And I don't really know how to specifically do that, but I imagine it's a very difficult balance for the admins to try to reach. Overall, I really do understand that the admins want to fight cheating whenever possible, and I completely agree with those goals. I mean, they're very noble goals, and they want the game to be better for the average player. But I do think that when changes like this happen, the admins should come out as a team and say, listen, we want to patch this out, we want to fix this issue, we need to do this sort of thing, and yes, it may nerf your ability to play the game for a little while, but we're hoping in the long term, the server stability will be better. Something like that will be a huge step up in terms of the communication that we're receiving, because recently communication has been pretty good, and I hope it continues to be pretty good. It's just that this sort of blip has definitely dampened a few people's expectations and their wants from the admins a little bit, and I hope it's not just a long-term trend, and maybe we can get back to a normal after this. At the end of the day, though, my name is Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.